Hi guys, and welcome to day 6 of our gentle progression series. As always, I am so glad you are here with me today. Kat is already making his appearance. I'm not really sure what he's doing, but let's go ahead and get into it today. We're going to start on our backs. We're going to reach our hands up and over our head. And I want you to just take a big yawning stretch as if I'm pulling on your fingertips towards the wall behind you. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you take that deep inhale, feel your ribs float up towards your head. Maybe you can let a yawn out. Bean is starting to kick a ball around the room, so that's great. Great timing. All right, let's bring our hands back up towards the ceiling, our palms facing one another. We're just going to begin to warm up our shoulders. I want you to take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to draw your ribs down towards your ankles as you extend your hands over your head. Hi, Kat. So instead of letting them lift up, they're dragging down towards your ankles. Bring your hands back up to your ceiling. Exhale. Draw those ribs down towards your feet. You can take a big stretch and let them come up if you're not sure if they're not moving. Back up to the ceiling, and now let's alternate. Again, trying to keep those ribs still. The only thing moving is your arm in the socket. All right, we're gonna come on up to our side. Now you can modify this however you need. If you wanna come down on your forearm, if you wanna just lift up to your knees, whatever you are able to do. But we are going to come into a side plank, so your legs are going to be stacked on top of one another, a little bit of a bend. You want your wrist to be directly under your shoulder. We're going to push up, find your balance here. We want to make sure that we are not on our ankles. We don't want to be down like this. We want to be up on the side of our foot. You can also put one foot in front of the other if that's a little easier. We're just going to do some stars. So we're going to raise our leg and our arm. Connect to your breath. Check in that we're not sagging at our ribs and that we're not on that ankle. Bean is really testing my balance. All right, go ahead and come down. Let's take a little rest. Bean's gonna rest on my mat. Thank you, Beanie. All right, we're gonna come back up. We're gonna put one foot in front of the other. Have our arms straight up. We're going to thread our arm through, having a nice rotation here. Back up to the ceiling, 2 more. Last one. And back down. Thank you. We're going to come onto our stomachs. We're going to have our hands just in our chest. We're going to have our nose and face facing the mat. Take a nice deep breath. And as you inhale, I want you to draw your elbows back towards your feet. Shine your chest forward and raise your gaze to the edge of the mat. Your ribs are still connected to the mat. Roll back down. Again, we're going to inhale. Draw those elbows towards your ankles. Shine that chest forward. And I want you to continue to extend your arms up as we come into our swan 1. Really keeping that nice open chest. Slowly melt back down hitting our pubic bone, our stomach, our chest, and our sternum. Let's do one more swan. Inhale, slowly lift, keeping a nice curve throughout our whole spine. Keeping that chest nice and open. And melt back down. And now we're going to bring our arms out to a goal post, keeping that active position with our nose an inch or two off of the mat for our scarecrow. If you remember for this one, oh cat. If you remember for this one, everything from our elbow to the tips of our finger is stiff as a board, so we can't wiggle at the wrist. We lift our wrists, we lift our elbows, we lower our elbows, and we lower our wrists. So wrist, elbows, elbows, wrist, wrist, elbows, elbows, wrist. Now this time, wrist, elbows, making sure your wrists are higher than your elbows. Extend your arms forward. Come back, elbows down, wrists down. Wrist, elbows, extend, come back, elbows down, wrists down. We're going to do one more. Wrist, elbows, extend, back, elbows, wrist. And let's just relax down for a second. Maybe roll your shoulders around. Take a little inhale. The shoulders, I know for me personally, I don't get a lot of work in my shoulders, so this stuff always a little bit of a workout. All right, let's bring our head back into an active position, facing the mat. We're going to bring our arms over our head, palms facing one another. Now you can keep any part. If you need to keep your arms, legs down, whatever, do what you need to do. We're going to press into our pelvis, floating our legs up, floating our arms up, and then we're going to alternate without letting our hands and feet touching the ground. And this is called swimming. Really feel the stability in your pelvis. We are bouncing at our pelvis. Notice how your back is not really moving, it's just your arms and legs. It's important to keep breathing through this one. Just a little bit longer. 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, let's come back into a child's pose. Take a nice deep breath here. Now we're going to come onto our other side. So again, modify however you need. A little bit of a bend here. Again, we want to make sure our wrists are under our ankle, or I always call wrists ankles. Our wrists are under our shoulder. We're going to come on up into that side plank. So we're going to raise our arm, our leg, making sure we're not on our ankle. One more. All right, we can come down and rest. Oh, God. Take a little breath. We're going to come up again. Put one foot in front of the other if you don't already have that there. We're going to thread our arm through and up. Thread it through. One more time. Really lengthen towards the ceiling. Release. All right, great job. We're gonna come into a nice long sit position again. If you need to roll up the edge of your mat, if you need to grab a pillow to sit on, a towel, do whatever you need to do to be able to sit up nice and tall, feet about hip width apart, palms facing one another, and we curl our head, neck, and chest forward, imagining someone is pulling their fingertips, and slowly restack the spine. Let's do that again. And come back up. Now we can take our feet about the width of our mat. Our arms out to the side, like a T, and we're going to rotate, taking our gaze with us. We're not leaning with our arms, we're not bending our neck. We're also not getting tight in our neck. Imagine there's a string at the top of your head, and it's being pulled upward towards the ceiling. Our pelvis is nice and straight. Everything touching the mat is glued to the mat. Last one. Come back to the center. Go ahead and drop your hands. Do some shoulder rolls, some neck rolls. And that completes this. This was about 12 minutes of shoulder work. So hope that was not too tough. And I will see you guys back on the mat tomorrow.